won't take the full time. I welcome the Criminal Law, Sex Offences and Human Trafficking Bill 2023. It proposes key reforms that would benefit An Garda Síochána in its work to police human trafficking and exploitation. Making the national referral mechanism for victims of human trafficking a statutory provision will be a huge benefit in bringing those who perpetrate these crimes to justice. This mechanism provides for cooperation between state organisations, government departments, civic society groups which assist victims of human trafficking to ensure adequate resourcing and support is available, especially when victims choose to come forward and report a crime. However, the 2023 Trafficking in Persons report ranked Ireland as failing to meet the minimum standards in victim identifications, referral and assistance. A study showed 88% of trafficking victims engaged with the healthcare system during their time of being trafficked, but less than 1% were identified. We must train all healthcare workers in identifying trafficking. While the HSE is listed as a competent authority in the bill, the Department of Health is not, which will limit the scope of engagement of non-public healthcare workers. If we are serious as a nation about this vital issue, we must ensure that all healthcare professionals are adequately trained and supported in identifying trafficking victims. Annette Kennedy and Anne-Marie Ryan of the Health and Social Care Education Trafficking Group came to Leinster House recently and highlighted vital issues in relation to identifying trafficking. They noted that dentists, physiotherapists and even social workers do not typically receive training in identifying trafficking. If the Department of Health is listed as a competent authority, the Dental Council, CORU and many other regulatory bodies will be within their remit to train their members on identifying trafficking, because trafficking people use the broad spectrum of health services. Including this training in the codes of professional conduct of these bodies will directly impact the educational institutions for these medical professions and will equip all medical staff, public and private, trained and qualified in how to identify trafficking. Beyond healthcare professions, it is critical to implement licences for those who work with civic society groups which assist human trafficking victims or assist those coming into Ireland seeking international protection, to ensure oversight and regulation of these services. Many people operate in this space as consultants without any specific certification or credentials. It is vital for the success of an initiative to regulate this space appropriately. The criminal underground operations that thrive within our system are not merely undermined its integrity, but also likely perpetrating heinous crimes, particularly trafficking vulnerable individuals, especially women and children, into prostitution. Organ trafficking is yet unquantifiable. We had one case of that last year. It is a growing international problem, particularly in such countries of Afghanistan, which has a high number of international refugees worldwide. This is why specially licensing international protection professionals is necessary. By demanding licences for professionals working in the international protection and refugee system, we can establish a robust framework that holds individuals and organisations accountable for their actions. Licence will help to ensure that only qualified and ethical individuals are entrusted with the responsibility of protecting and advocating for refugees and asylum seekers. Previously, I highlighted concerns regarding Ukrainian children brought to County Mayo by a charity. This charity did not notify TUSLA on the arrival of these children. Many of these children flew without a parent or guardian. Under the law as it stands, notification to TUSLA might be sufficient to comply with the current laws, but is that really enough? When it comes to people crossing borders, especially children, we need to ensure the highest standard of protection for all involved. The national referral mechanism should perhaps include children by default as a way of ensuring that children fleeing war get the particular support that they need, and that they are also tracked in a system should there be any risk that they have been trafficked. By clearly setting out guidelines and expectations through licensing requirements, we can instil trust and confidence in the system, reassuring both the public and those seeking safety and support. By training our healthcare professionals, we can aim to meet the highest standard in identifying and assisting victims of crime. I also want to bring to your attention, Minister, there's only 16 Garda employed in combating human trafficking in this country at this time. That's simply not enough. So I think, you need to resource that particular department a little bit better, whether you double it or quadruple it, but there's 16 Garda dealing with human trafficking in this country is not enough Gardaí, and certainly not enough considering our record on the issue. Thank you.